And let's see, Lee in LaSalle is MI Michigan. Well, he gets to move to the front of the line because he said the magic words. He has proof for the existence of God. Lee, are you there?
Yeah. My phone got disconnected from the base.
Oh. Can you guys turn up the speaker or something?
Oh,
hello?
I'm on.
Yes, you are on.
Oh, wow. My phone got disconnected from the base.
Okay.
I think I have evidence for God, at least his existence.
All right. Go for it.
Well, I've met him. I've shaken his hand, and his name is Phil Collins.
Amazing! Phil Collins exists. You cheated to get to the front of the line now.
Yeah, I think there's actually proof of evidence of Phil Collins' existence, too.
Yeah, I've seen a picture or two, even.
The proof that he's God is the song In the Air Tonight.
See, I thought it was Anita Baker, but
okay.
I was confused.
Welcome. I've turned your life around.
All right, yes, I've seen the light, and thank you for the moment of levity. All right, bye. Let's see. Calls. Oh, well, okay, so we had 2 open lines, and then I was just about to say that, and then they just fill up. So, keep trying. So right now we have Stephen in Clayton, North Carolina. Are you there?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. I got a question for you, and I hope you have your computers ready because you might need to look some stuff up.
Oh, then that makes for great television.
Yeah. Have you ever? I think it's called the hydroplate theory.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of that?
So this is like the world blows up like a balloon, and the plate tectonics.
Oh, that one! Oh my gosh!
Is this?
Yes.
Are you the balloon guy?
The what?
Are you the balloon guy? Because there's a guy that has been on our show, that has called in our show, and has proposed this idea that the Earth was like a balloon and it blew up and got bigger somehow, and the tectonic plates were floating around on this balloon.
I do the internet search.
Is that anything like what you're talking about? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Not quite.
No,
I mean,
okay.
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about, but yeah, that's not what.
Okay.
Exactly what I'm going to be telling you about. What it is though is that this is an argument I've heard from a creationist saying that that a lot of the ocean's water was once placed under the tectonic plates, and whenever God flooded the earth,
yes,
it rose through the fault lines of the continents, and this is also explaining how Pangea separated.
Okay.
That flooded, and then that ran off into the cavities, which filled up the oceans and everything.
Well, and, okay. 60, 70 years ago, there was this very then new theory of plate tectonics. There was this idea that these continents and things used to all fit together because you could kind of see how Africa could fit in, with North and South America and all that good stuff. And it was considered kind of a wild claim at the time.
Yeah, hugely controversial.
Hugely controversial claim. And the answer to both of these questions is extraordinary claims need extraordinary evidence. And for this particular claim, there became extraordinary evidence. Well, they did soundings through the ocean floor and figured out that, hey, we do have this continental shelf, which is really the true division of where the continent is, not where the ocean is. And yes, these do fit together. And oh, by the way, we can actually figure out that these things are moving apart, and there's a rift, continental rift, where these plates are being pushed apart, and these where the plates are going underneath each other, mountains are building up, and all these things. And so this was a claim that was actually proven. So for this other claim that you're coming up with, where the water was underneath, the answer is, well, maybe that's true. I kind of doubt it. But what I would need is extraordinary evidence for that claim.
Right, and the nature of extraordinary evidence, and this is a good way to approach quasi-scientific claims in general, is that the first thing you want to ask is, has there been a peer-reviewed paper on this topic appearing in a mainstream scientific journal?
That's a good milestone for such a claim.
You might want to memorize that. But basically, I mean, the way science works is not a bunch of people just throwing out crazy ideas, and then a bunch of other people say, "Hey, that sounds good," and then they all agree with it. The idea is that first they throw out the crazy ideas, which is a perfectly respectable part of science, and
They
then
get shot down brutally.
yes,
Usually.
they submit it to a peer-reviewed journal, and the peer review means that some other guys who are in that same field will look over it and say, "Oh, you've got a whole bunch of flaws here. The actual evidence does or does not support this particular claim you made," and then, if it passes this peer-reviewed process, it will show up in the journal, and then other scientists will decide how useful it is and maybe reference it as a way of explaining other things they found out. So the quality that makes a good scientific theory is sort of the same quality that makes an internet video go viral. It's sort of, when a bunch of people find it good enough to link to.
I don't like that
No,
analogy.
you don't like
It's like, no.
Okay. But with a grounding in education and evidence.
Okay.
Does that help?
All right, that helps. Yeah.
Okay. But, I mean, what I'm saying is, when you ask a creationist, okay, that's an interesting idea, now has it been published in a peer-reviewed scientific journal? They say, no, because science is a conspiracy to stop me from doing that. If you ask that question and you start getting a bunch of whining, that's a pretty good indication that what you're looking at is in no way scientific.
And
oh
it's
yeah,
not,
I mean, I'm with you on that. I mean, but these creationists, they do find like a few creationist scientists here and there. They've all written papers and they all give it. They've all given a list of what they think is evidence.
yeah, they have their fake science journals and all
Right,
that.
but they don't submit it to other scientists
Yeah.
outside their little
And this
circle.
peer review thing is not a cure-all, right? It's a good sort
not
of,
flawless.
I called it a milestone, right? It's something that you have to do that in order to eventually get an accepted theory, but that's just a first step. You want to publish in journals that are respected journals by the people who are doing the research in that area. The creationist folks have created their own journals, which it's like kind of a circle jerk of some sort. They're off in the corner.
Yeah, they're trying to create a veneer of respectability.
Veneer of respectability,
where
right?
respectability isn't possible.
It's fake stuff. So,
Of course, when it comes to the circle jerk claim, they would probably say the same thing about real scientific journals.
yeah, well, real science makes predictions that can be verified by other people, and that's the acid test. I mean, it's ultimately about reality.
And real science is also flexible, because if you come up with a theory and you come up with new facts to support or refute the theory a lot of times can be, or the idea can be modified in light of the new facts. But with like this hydroplate tectonics, you're starting off with a premise that is irrefutable, that God flooded the earth, and it can never be refuted. And now, because they have this irrefutable idea, they have to go around and come up with all these explanations about how that's possible.
Fit that.
And it's not science, because you can never modify or discard the initial premise that God flooded the earth.
That's a good point. The religion starts with
5,000
the
years ago.
answer and rationalizes its way to the facts, and science starts with the facts and rationalizes or
Right.
works its way through reason to an
this
answer.
seems like bending over backwards to explain the Great Flood, and before you would bother to do that, you would first ask it to be established that there was a Great Flood in the first place. The short answer to that is there's no reason to believe that there was any such flood that covered the entire Earth ever. The archaeological evidence doesn't support it.
There's a good website called talkorigins.org that has a very good taxonomy, if you will, of creationist claims and answers to them. The creationist, and you will find that you'll find this issue probably there.
If
and
you
you'll
Google
find some good
index
papers.
to creationist claims, you'll find it.
Oh, index to creationist claims. Okay. Yeah, I think that's one of the coolest things, because pretty much every argument you'll ever hear from a creationist is cataloged there and an answer to it. And that's a great starting point because there's often very good references to go off and read more and explore. And if you have a particular one.
And I'm looking at it right now, and
Okay.
hydroplate theory happens to be number CH420.
There you go. They're all cataloged.
So go check it out.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll let you go. I don't want to take up all your time.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you for calling.
It's actually sparked an interesting discussion there.